And yesterday, in an answer to Senator Kennedy, you said, the FBI is not in possession of any credible evidence that Epstein trafficked girls to anyone but himself. So according to your testimony yesterday and in this committee, according to the evidence the FBI has, the number of names on the list are zero.
No,
zero.
The index has been released, and the number of people involved in that trafficking operation were charged in 2018.
Other than Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, your testimony in the Senate and here is that according to the evidence you have, the number of other names is zero.
That were charged based on credible evidence.
Well, who are the other names? Give me the other names that weren't charged.
Representative Jared Moskowitz criticized Kash Patel harshly for the dangerous rise of political extremism fueled by internet rumors. The FBI director admitted that there was insufficient evidence to support the baseless claims regarding Jeffrey Epstein's client list, which dominated the discussion. It also brought attention to a fabricated document bearing a fake presidential signature meant to stir up controversy, highlighting the greater issue of misinformation pulling America apart. Moskowitz concluded by calling for bipartisan cooperation to manage social media platforms and prevent foreign interference.
I want to caution my colleagues on, one-sided violence in this country. We just heard that there were no riots on the right. We're literally sitting in the building where there was a giant riot by supporters of the president, the right. We also heard that only leftists, have said that Trump is a Nazi. In 2016, the current vice president of the United States said, Trump is either a cynical asshole or he's America's Hitler. And so this is the problem. I don't want to have to say this garbage, but you want me to sit here and get painted with one brush, the whole left. No, there are extremes on the left, and there are extremes on the right. And we collectively should tackle that. But to come here and just look at us and say we all support what's going on in the extremes is why we can't solve anything in this building. Director, let me say first, thank you for being here, and my condolences on the loss of your friend. And I'm happy to hear that you want to do more on the social media platforms. It's crazy what's going on the social media platforms. There are so many conspiracy theories on what's going on with Charlie Kirk. Israel assassinated him, right? There are conspiracy theories about your personal social life all day. It is totally rampant. Big names on the right, Candace Owens, right? Talking about how what's been released as far as the dialogue between the perpetrator and his roommate is manufactured by the FBI, manufactured by the administration. It is totally rampant, allowing foreign governments to just perpetrate these platforms, all of these bots, all of the time to weaponize Americans. You see what's going on here? This is a byproduct of all of that. What's going on in the streets is a byproduct of all of that. What's happening is you see people celebrate Luigi Mangione is a byproduct of all of that. And so if we want to do something, then we should talk about Section 230. We should talk about how we're going to make sure that we don't let foreign governments poison our children's mind. And so I will work with you on that, Director.
I'll work with you on 230 any day.
No problem. So now, that was the good part. I want to take your attention back a second, okay? Breaking news. Kash Patel is nominated to be the FBI director. Dan Bongino is nominated to be the number 2 at the FBI. MAGA celebrates, rejoices, bells are ringing out. The team, Patel, Bongino, that sought out every podcast microphone to talk about the Epstein list. The names are finally going to get released. It begins. They produce white binders. Phase 1 with the podcasters. This is not actually one of them, of course. I made this. Your name's on it, right? And the names are going to come out. Pam Bondi says the list is on her desk. Then a memo comes out all of a sudden and says, there's no list. Oh, no phase 2. Phase 2 binders never happened. You said the conspiracy theories around Epstein just aren't true. They never have been. And yesterday, in an answer to Senator Kennedy, you said the FBI is not in possession of any credible evidence that Epstein trafficked girls to anyone but himself. So according to your testimony yesterday and in this committee, according to the evidence the FBI has, the number of names on the list are zero.
No,
Zero.
The index has been released, and the number of people involved in that trafficking operation were charged in 2018.
Other than Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, your testimony in the Senate and here is that according to the evidence you have, the number of other names is zero.
That were charged based on credible evidence.
Well, who are the other names? Give me the other names that weren't charged.
We are not releasing the names of anyone because the Department of Justice never does that of anyone that didn't have any credible information to attack them.
Let me move forward. The president has, you've seen the picture of the woman's body with the writing and the president's signature. The president says that's not his. Okay? The president says it's not his. The Republican colleagues say it's not his. The administration say it's not his. Will you be opening up an investigation into the Epstein estate for putting out a fake document with the president's signature linking him to the world's largest pedophile ring? Will you be opening that investigation into that?
On what basis?
On what basis? They literally put out a fake document, according to the president, with a fake signature. It's a forgery of the president of the United States signature. That's the basis.
Sure, I'll do it.
Okay, I look forward to that investigation.
Representative Jared Moskowitz forcefully challenged FBI Director Kash Patel over the handling of documents tied to Jeffrey Epstein, turning the exchange into a tense and highly focused confrontation, as Moskowitz referenced a handwritten FBI record dated September 17, 2019, uncovered from internal archives, and used it to question gaps between Patel's sworn testimony and what the document appeared to suggest, especially regarding how certain individuals connected to Epstein were treated during the investigation. And while Patel maintained that prior findings did not lead to additional prosecutable cases beyond Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, Moskowitz pressed further, raising concerns about why dozens of identified names, including several described as high priority due to their proximity to Epstein, did not appear to face deeper scrutiny either in 2019 or during Patel's current leadership period. And as the questioning intensified, Moskowitz pointed to language in the memo that referenced notifying the White House about the presence of well-known associates, using that detail to ask whether any political considerations may have influenced how information was handled, including whether figures like Donald Trump were ever part of internal discussions, though Patel declined to provide specific answers on uncharged individuals, citing limitations on what could be publicly disclosed. And this refusal became the central tension of the exchange, as Moskowitz argued that withholding such details raises serious concerns about transparency and accountability in a case that has drawn widespread public attention, ultimately framing the issue as one of trust in institutions, and whether investigative decisions were made solely on evidence or influenced by other factors, leaving the broader questions unresolved and continuing to fuel debate around how the Epstein case has been handled at the highest levels.